What is going on, guys? I am back with another review of a day at an amusement park, and this time I am talking about my 15th visit of the season to my favorite park in Pennsylvania, Knoebels Amusement Resort. And so let's just get started. So when I first got in the park, I made the I didn't discover this, but I got my first vertical construction update on the new Power Surge. The new Power Surge had gone vertical since my last visit, so that was a highlight of my visit, seeing the vertical construction of the new Power Surge in person. And as of the last time I was there, the entrance or exit ramp was starting to be put in place, so that was good to see as well. And then after that, I headed to get my Ride All Day wristband. And then after that, I rope dropped flying turns like usual and got yet another successful first ride of the day on it. And then after that, I headed to Phoenix. And then after Phoenix, at that point, I think I headed to Downdraft. Shout out Lily, yeah. And then after Downdraft, I headed over to Stratosphere. And then after Stratosphere, I headed over to Twister. Shout out Maggie, Julia, and the crew, of course. And yeah, so after Twister, I headed over to Impulse, which shout out goes to that ride op, which that ride op was able to take me as one of the single riders, which escorted me to the station, which saved me a heck of a lot of time, like always when they do that. And so anyways, after that, I headed over to Scenic Skyway. And then after Scenic Skyway, I headed over to Roto Jets at that point. And then after Roto Jets, I headed over to Paratrooper. And then after Paratrooper, I headed to Cosmotron. And then after Cosmotron, I headed to Flyer. And then after Flyer, I headed to Grand Carousel. And then after after Grand Carousel, I headed over to the Alamo for a late lunch. And then after the Alamo, I headed over to Pioneer Train for a nice relaxing ride on that, like always. And then after Pioneer Train, I think I might have headed over to, I think it was Tornado at that point. And then after Tornado, I headed over to Black Diamond. And this ride was actually successful compared to last visit where I tried to get on it and the ride op got a blue screen on the computer, which led to a delay in operations. So yeah, so after that successful ride on Black Diamond, I headed to Giant Flume. And then after, shout out William at Giant Flume, by the way. And so after Giant Flume, I headed over to Downdraft. And then after Downdraft, I headed over to, I think for another ride on Downdraft, Black Diamond, then I did Giant Flume, and then I did Downdraft. And then I'm trying to remember the order for a second, sorry. And so anyway, after Downdraft, I headed over to Stratosphere, I believe. And then after Stratosphere, I did Twister again, I think. And then after Twister, I think that might have been when I did Pioneer Train. I'm sorry. I thought I did Pioneer Train earlier, but it turned out I did a Pioneer Train after a reride on Twister. And then after that ride on Pioneer Train, I headed to Merry Mixer for my first time on that in a while. And then after Merry Mixer, I headed over to Sklooge where I was going to ride it. And shout out Mac, because when I was in Sklooge's station, I was talking with her about the new Power Surge and how it's coming along. And yeah, so and it was my first time seeing Mac since that spontaneous visit I had. This was my first time seeing Mac since early June, so shout out to Mac, but because I got to talk with her, and I was originally gonna have a ride on Sklooge, but then it ended up closing due to the water needing to be filled or something. So that was so that's how I got to interact with Mac today. And yeah, so after that, I headed over to Italian Trapeze, and then after Italian Trapeze, I headed over for a re-ride on Paratrooper. And then after Paratrooper, I headed over to Stratosphere. And then after Stratosphere, I headed over to Downdraft. And then after Downdraft, I think I headed to Twister at that point. And so after Twister, that pretty much concluded my day at Knoebels. So that pretty much wraps up this review of the day of my first visit of the year to September weekends and my 15th visit to my favorite Pennsylvania amusement park. Shout out to all the Knoebels staff for an awesome day. And so anyways, reply to me your thoughts on this video, and make sure to stay tuned for more. Coming soon to Coaster Plus Music 19, and make sure to go check out my merch store on YouTube Shopping. There should be several products tagged in at least my recent videos, if not all my videos. And make sure to subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you will not miss when I upload a new video. And so with that, I now do membership. So here's how it works. The yellow level, which is only $2.99 a month, gives you royalty free badges, images, members only shorts, and early access to new videos. And the green level, which is only $5.99 a month, gives you all the benefits of the yellow level plus a member shout out. So if you want a membership, what are you waiting for? Become a member of the Coaster Plus. Become a member of Coaster Plus Music 19 today. The link will be in the description. And with all that being said, I will see you all in the next.